What's good, YouTube? So it is recording day. I am trying to knock out as many videos as I can. It is Sunday. I did just hit 1,000 subscribers today. So I truly honestly appreciate anybody's support, anybody that leaves a comment, anybody that likes, shares my videos. You guys are the reason that pushed me to stay this motivated this long. It's been 5 months now since I started recording these videos. Honestly, didn't think I'd be doing it this long. It was more just like a niche, temporary thing. Recording a few deck profile videos, a few combo videos. But with the amount of support I've gotten thus far, it's honestly kept me motivated to continue and push more. I am going to start doing some actual live duels as well with myself, showing myself on camera, stuff like that. If that's something you guys are interested in, that is coming up. Me versus other duelists. So if that's also something you guys are interested in, I'm open towards dueling some of you guys on camera. You guys don't have to put on camera if you guys just want to do voice. That's also fine. But just letting you guys know that is something I am going to be experimenting with in the future. So today I'm going to be showing you how to play Invoked Dogmatika Shaddoll / Thunder Dragon. Just showing you what happens if we drew some of the main 1-card starters plus 2 other cards. The deck plays 20 non-engine cards, so we're going to have a lot of hand traps and a lot of non-engine cards, such as Super Poly. The deck is also made with the intent to be under $30. More like 25, honestly. And if you want to remove Super Poly, the deck can honestly be made for under $20. So we're going to go ahead and normal summon. Alistair's going to go ahead and grab us our invocation from the deck to our hand. From there, we can go ahead and link off Alistair into our Salamangreat Almirage. Then we can go ahead and link off our Salamangreat Almirage into a secure Gardna. This is just pretty much filling up our graveyard for cards for our Dogmatika Maximus, and our Invocation and Nemesis Corridor as well. From there, we can just go ahead and activate our Invocation to go ahead and go into our Invoked Mechaba, our first big boss monster. And we're going to go ahead and use our Alistair the Invoker and our Secure Garden, banishing them with Invocation to go into our Invoked Mechaba. From there, we can go ahead and put Invocation back into our deck and add Alistair back into our hand. Then we can go ahead and activate our Nemesis Corridor. In case you guys don't know what this does, we run 3 of this. So we have a mini Bysteel package as well as Alistair to always have a card hopefully banished. That way Nemesis Corridor is live. But in case you don't know what he does, you can target one of your banished monsters except himself, special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, shuffle that target into the deck. So we can go ahead and special summon himself and go ahead and put our Secure Gardna back into our deck. Then in our extra deck, we have a surprise card. We have Thunder Dragon Colossus. So Thunder Dragon Colossus must be either fusion summon or special summon during the turn a Thunder monster's effect was activated in the hand by attributing 1 Thunder effect non-fusion monster. So obviously Nemesis Corridor was activated in the hand. So we can go ahead and special summon our Thunder Dragon Colossus by just tributing our Nemesis Corridor from the field. And then he is a pretty much walking Droll Lock Bird on legs, and he is one-sided as well, so it's only for your opponent. Because it states, cards cannot be added from the main deck to your opponent's hand except by drawing them. So again, a one-sided Droll Lock Bird, and he has 2600 attack. He also has protection, because if this card would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can banish 1 Thunder monster from your graveyard instead. So right away, very simple lines, as you can see. This is a very, very beginner-friendly deck. Very easy combos to learn as well, very linear. This is a deck I would recommend towards if you're trying to get your friends or family into Yu-Gi-Oh! Again, this deck can be built for under $20, and it utilizes such cool boss monsters. I was also even thinking of just adding a Red Eyes Fusion to this deck as well, or even mixing Branded in it. That way we can also add in the Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. If that's something you guys are interested in and you want to see me spice this deck up even more, I can do that as well. Possibly removing the Thunder Dragon package and throwing in the Branded package, maybe 3 Alubers, 1 Branded Fusion, a Fallen of Albaz as a brick, and that way we can go into our Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. If that's something you guys want to see, leave a comment, let me know. But anyways, now that we have our 2 boss monsters on the field, now we can go ahead and use Nadir Servant. So one of the intricacies of this deck is you always want to use Nadir Servant last, because this states send 1 monster from your extra deck to the graveyard, then add 1 Dogmatika monster or Fallen of Albaz from your deck or graveyard to your hand that has attack less than or equal to that monster in the graveyard. Also, for the rest of this turn after this card resolves, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck. So because of that little niche interaction, you always want to make sure Nadir Servant is one of the last things you do. So Nadir Servant is actually a decent going second card as well, but you also want to try to establish your board prior to utilizing Nadir Servant if you are going second. So we're going to go ahead and use Nadir Servant, and we're going to go ahead and send our Al Shaddoll Apkalone from our extra deck to the graveyard. And then Nadir Servant's going to go ahead and grab us our Dogmatika Maximus from our deck to our hand. Then in case you don't know what this old school card does, if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add 1 Shaddoll card from your deck or graveyard to your hand. Then we have to discard a card. So that's going to go ahead and grab us our Shaddoll Schism, aka our way to get into our Winda, aka one of my favorite cards of all time. That's the main reason why I love this deck, and this is honestly one of my favorite decks of all time, as well as one of the first competitive decks I ever actually played. And then from here, we can just go ahead and discard any of our one of our blanks. We can just go ahead and do our Effect Veiler. because I do like Ghost Ogre. He is such an underrated card. He is great against blue eyes. Most hand traps are great against blue eyes, to be honest. He's also really good against Vanquishal. So having this card, I feel like is going to be a big side card against Vanquishal, because Vanquishal is probably the top deck, if not top 2, top 3 decks of the meta. But definitely a great utility and budget option. You can definitely get a playset for under $1 on TCG Player. So we discarded with the effect of Al Shaddoll Apkalon. We added our Shaddoll Schism. Now we can go ahead and special summon our Dogmatika Maximus. He special summons himself by sending 2 cards from our extra deck to the graveyard. So we're gonna go ahead and send our Garura, Wings of Resonant Life, and our Titaniclad, the Ash Dragon, to special summon himself. So Titaniclad, during the end phase, is gonna go ahead and add us one of our Dogmatika cards, and then Garura, he's gonna go ahead and draw us a card. So we draw one for Garura. Of course, we are going to draw a hand trap. So we have 2 cards still in hand. We were able to add Alistair, and we have Shaddoll Schism. So we're definitely building a board. We're filling up our graveyard. So from here, we're just gonna go ahead and set our Shaddoll Schism. In case you don't know what this does, during the main phase, you can fusion summon 1 Shaddoll monster, fusion monster from your extra deck by banishing materials mentioned on it from your field or graveyard, but not attack directly. Then you can send to the graveyard 1 monster your opponent controls with the same attribute as that fusion summon monster. So that second effect is a big reason why I did decide to kind of rebuild and recreate this deck, because with the amount of dark monsters, mainly Malice is another top 3 deck at the moment. This deck is really great against Malice, because you're able to send one of their monsters to the graveyard, and it pretty much doesn't allow them to link climb. They want to have as many bodies on the field as possible. So we're gonna go ahead and set our Shaddoll Schism. So at this point, we have a Droll Lock Bird and an Omni Negate / Banish with Invoked Mechaba, 2 blanks in our hand, and we still have Alistair for either follow-up or for Invoked Mechaba, because he does need to discard a monster if you want to negate a monster / banish. Then during the end phase, we can go ahead and activate Titaniclad in the graveyard, and that's gonna go ahead and add our Dogmatika Fleurdelis, the Knighted. And in case you don't know what he says, during the main phase, if a monster special summoned from the extra deck is on the field, quick effect, you can special summon this card from your hand. Then if you control another Dogmatika monster, aka our Dogmatika Maximus, you can negate the effects of 1 face-up monster on the field. So he is another negate / big-bodied monster. He has 2,500 attack, 2,500 defense. Again, 2 blanks. We run 20 hand traps, 20 non-engine, so you're more than likely going to have 1 to 2 hand traps. Negate / banish, a Winda, and a Thunder Dragon Colossus, because then we're going to go ahead pass turn to our opponent. And prior to them even doing anything, you could just pretty much shotgun Shaddoll Schism right away to go into our Shaddoll Winda, one of my favorite artworks, one of my favorite cards of all time. Any deck that can run Winda, aka Draco Tail, and it's something I'm going to be interested in trying to build. Speaking of, just a quick little teaser for what the future is going to look like from my channel. I am building Draco Tail. I'm building Yummy as well. I am building Draco Tail Shaddoll, so I am building my Shaddoll cards. I also have Shaddoll cards in the actual deck profile for this, so I'm missing a few other ones. But yeah, I pretty much have most of the cards. I'm just missing a few that have taken a little longer than the other shipments. There's always some delays in regards to TCG Player. But yeah, I have mostly everything. I just need to fill the deck up with hand traps and a few extra monsters. But yeah, if you guys are interested in or have been watching this far, let me know which one should I do first. Should I do Draco Tail? Should I do Draco Tail Branded? Should I do Yummy? Should I do Draco Tail Shaddoll? Let me know. Leave a comment so I know which one you guys are interested in if you have made it this far. So let's get back to the combo though. We're gonna go ahead and activate our Shaddoll Schism to fusion summon into our Al Shaddoll Winda. We can go ahead and put Winda up there, and we're gonna need a Shaddoll monster plus a dark monster. So we're gonna go ahead and banish our Shaddoll Apkalon. And you know, I did forget earlier, Dogmatika Maximus did need to banish a extra deck monster, so we would have banished our Almirage earlier, which is another reason I would have mentioned as well why the Dogmatika package is really good with Thunder Dragon package, because you need to have monsters that are banished. So this card actually has great synergy with that package as well. So we're gonna go ahead, banish our Apkalon, and then we need to banish a dark monster. It can be either one of these. We can go ahead and just do Garura. Again, that was Shaddoll Schism, banishing those cards to go into our Al Shaddoll Winda, and as if we really didn't floodgate them enough with the Thunder Dragon Colossus. So this card cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. Each player can only special summon monsters once per turn while this card is face up on the field. Then if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target 1 Shaddoll spell or trap in your graveyard and add it to your hand. So Winda is going to go ahead and special summon because of our Shaddoll Schism. Then again, if we were going against a dark deck such as Branded Despia or Malice, we can go ahead and use Shaddoll Schism as well. This states, then you can send to the graveyard 1 monster your opponent controls with the same attribute as that fusion summon monster. So because Winda is a dark, would be able to send one of their monsters to the graveyard. And then again, now each of us are only able to special summon 1 time. So the second they do something, if they are able to special summon one monster, trying to pop off or do something, we can go ahead and special summon our Dogmatika Fleurdelis, negate the monster, and now we have a board full of big body monsters, 22, 26, 25, 3,000 defense, 2,500, 3 cards still in hand. Again, pretty crazy considering without Super Poly, this deck can be made for $120. If you add Super Poly, obviously it's a $2 card, I believe. You're gonna add another $6 to $7, which I do feel Super Poly is super great in this deck as well. Plus it runs a lot of non-engine. So that's pretty much it. That's the end board. Again, it has negates, banishes, 2 floodgates over here. If you guys want to see the branded version of this deck, again, leave a comment, let me know. But I think that's all I got for you guys today. I will also be, if I haven't already, be posting the deck profile for this. I also have a more Shaddoll heavy version, if that's another thing you guys are interested in. The main version I think I have of this deck only runs Shaddoll Schism, and I currently don't have any other Shaddoll monsters, but there is a version that I do have a heavier count of Shaddoll monsters. But I think that's all I got for you guys today. I'll catch you guys in the next video.